Watch the left side. Standard autoregressive decoding crawls through 6 separate forward passes, one token at a time. Now look at the right. Speculative decoding blazes through the same output in just 2 passes, a lightning-fast draft, then 1 verification. Same output quality, same tokens, 3 times faster. Autoregressive models work like dominoes. Token 3 can't happen until tokens 1 and 2 finish. Every single token demands a full forward pass through the entire network. So 100 tokens at 50 milliseconds each means a 5-second wait. Every token must wait for the previous one. Here's the thing. Most of those tokens are actually easy. Ask the capital of France is, and everyone, including a tiny model, instantly says Paris. You only need the heavyweight network for genuinely tough completions, like explaining quantum entanglement. So here's the key insight. Let a small, fast model guess the easy parts. Then let the big model verify everything in one shot. Draft quick, verify once, keep what's correct. Here's the magic in 3 steps. Step 1. The draft model sprints ahead and proposes 5 tokens as fast as it can. Step 2. The target model, in 1 forward pass, checks all 5 tokens at once. Match? We keep it. Mismatch? We reject and regenerate just that token. Step 3. We keep the correct tokens and only regenerate what failed. And here's the crucial part. Because we use the exact target model for verification, the output is mathematically identical to standard decoding. No quality loss, just fewer passes. But how can this be lossless? Think of it like this. The drafter samples from one probability distribution, the target from another. For each drafted token, we accept it with a certain probability based on how likely the target model thinks it is. If we reject a token, we resample from the target's distribution instead. This chain of accept or reject steps guarantees the output matches sampling directly from the target model. That's why speculation is mathematically lossless. The classic approach uses 2 models working in tandem. You've got a small cheap drafter, say Llama 7B, and a large target like Llama 70B. The drafter blasts out 5 tokens in a blink, and the target validates all 5 simultaneously. When the guesses are correct, you advance 5 positions for the cost of just 1 large forward pass. Now, acceptance rates vary by task. Code generation hits around 80% because code is predictable. Dialogue runs about 70%. Creative writing drops to 60% because poetry is harder to predict than Python. If you don't want to host 2 separate models, Self-Speculative lets the main model draft for itself. LayerSkip runs just the first dozen layers repeatedly as a cheap draft, then occasionally runs the full depth to verify. Draft cost drops to about 1/3 of a full pass, while hitting 75 to 80% acceptance. EAGLE takes it even further. You train a tiny prediction module, roughly 100 million parameters, that reads the frozen model's hidden states and proposes tokens. This achieves 80 to 85% acceptance and 2.5 to 3 times speedups, without doubling your memory footprint. The trade-off? Training that auxiliary head takes some time on a GPU. But you only train once, then deploy everywhere. So we've seen 2 approaches, using a separate draft model or having the model draft for itself. But what if instead of drafting tokens one after another, we drafted multiple tokens at once? That's where Medusa comes in. Medusa takes a different approach. What if we predict multiple future tokens in parallel? It adds multiple prediction heads on top of one hidden state. One head for t+1, another for t+2, another for t+3. This creates a tree of possible continuations, and we verify the entire tree in 1 forward pass. Think of it like this. A 3-head Medusa setup might evaluate 10 candidate nodes at once. Then a specialized tree attention verifier keeps only the consistent path through the tree. With 3 to 4 heads, you typically get 60 to 70% acceptance and around 2 to 2.5 times speedup. Training cost? Just a few GPU hours with about 2% extra memory for the new heads. Real example, Vicuna 33B drops from 100 milliseconds per token down to 43. That's 2.3 times faster. So how do you choose between these 3 approaches? Draft model needs high memory, but requires 0 training. You get 2 to 2.5 times speedup with 70 to 80% acceptance. Self-Speculative uses low memory since it's 1 model, but you need to train an auxiliary head, Speedup goes up to 2.5 to 3 times with 75 to 85% acceptance. Medusa sits in the middle on memory with just 2% overhead. Low training time, a few GPU hours. You get 2 to 2.5 times speedup with 60 to 70% acceptance. Bottom line, all three give you that 2 to 3 times speedup. Choose based on your memory budget and how much training time you have. It's really simple to test. Here's the HuggingFace version. Import your tokenizer and model, load the 70B target plus the 7B draft, tokenize your prompt, then call model.generate with one extra parameter named assistant model, which is your draft model. That's it. One parameter, and you get 2 to 3 times speedup. Now here's the vLLM version. Same idea. Set up your sampling parameters, then create an LLM instance pointing speculative model at your draft checkpoint. vLLM handles everything under the hood with page detention, automatic speculation. Both frameworks make this dead simple. You're really just flipping one switch to unlock a 2 to 3 times speedup. So, when should you actually use speculative decoding? You want to use it when you're handling small batches and real people are sitting there waiting for a response. It's especially useful if you're generating long outputs, like code or full documents, and latency really matters, when users are literally watching a spinner on the screen. It also works best in predictable domains, like programming, data extraction, or anything with a structured format. On the flip side, you probably want to avoid it if your GPUs are already fully saturated serving large batches. It's also not worth it for very short replies. Anything under about 20 tokens won't benefit much. If you need highly creative or unpredictable responses, speculative decoding isn't a great fit either. And if memory is extremely tight and you can't afford to load an extra model, that's another reason to skip it. Where is all this heading? First, adaptive speculation. The model adjusts how many tokens to draft on the fly based on how well predictions are working. Second, cascaded targets. Instead of jumping straight from 7B to 70B, we go 7B to 30, catching more tokens at each step. Third, combining speculation with mixture of experts routing for even more speed gains. The bottom line, speculation is becoming table stakes for modern LLM serving. If you're not using it, you're leaving 2 to 3 times performance on the table. If you want more breakdowns like this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.